Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with an update from former Mr. Olympia Brandon Curry. Brandon posted this up to his story yesterday, but he has taken so many images in the same doorway with the same black shorts, black socks. I have no idea if this update is actually recent or not, but seeing that Brandon is posting more updates, whether they are recent or not, I'm pretty sure he is going to be competing at this year's Mr. Olympia. And Brandon was 4th at last year's Mr. Olympia despite getting sick prior to the show. Going into this year's Olympia, I'm not really sure how people feel about Brandon. You guys let me know in the comment section below. But I have a really hard time counting this guy out. Remember, he was 4th place, and that was far from the best Brandon Curry we've seen. So let me know you guys' thoughts on Brandon and whether you think this update is recent or not, because I honestly think it's an older update. And let's switch over to the latest updates of Nathan DeAsha ahead of this weekend's Flex Pro, where he will be competing against Beirut's Tabani. And I think we're going to see a very, very good version of Nathan at this show. I know that Nathan doesn't have the best structure, longer torso, sort of short, stubby legs. I wish that Nathan would adjust some of his poses to try to hide some of those structural flaws. But I mean, this is men's open bodybuilding and not classic physique. And I actually gave out my predictions for the Flex Pro on a podcast I did recently. I will link it at the end of the video. You guys should definitely check it out. But I think between Nathan and Beirut, this show may end up being like Beirut versus Bonac. Beirut is the better guy structurally, but Nathan just has more dense muscle. So I guess I have Nathan winning the show and Beirut in 2nd place. But you guys should go watch the podcast. Watch everyone's predictions. It's great. And since we are on the topic of the Flex Pro, I figured we would take a look at the competitors list really quickly. This image is courtesy of EP09. So Nathan DeAsha and Beirut Tabani are pretty much the 2 heavy hitters in this show. I'm pretty sure everyone has Beirut or Nathan winning the show. You guys can let me know in the comment section below. We also have Emir Omaragic, who just came off a 2nd place to Tonio Burton at the Cali Pro. We also have Christian Walski, who is really making a name for himself this season. Those guys are probably going to round out your top 4. We have Kokani Bella. We have Anthony Jail, who was just 5th place last week. So this is going to be a pretty good show, but it sucks that we're not going to get to see Michal Krizo in this lineup, which is going to lead us into the next story. Michal Krizo is out of this year's Olympia. He's going to take a little bit of time off to address a shoulder injury. His next competition will be the Prague Pro to qualify for the 2025 Mr. Olympia, and his image is courtesy of Buys and Tries over on Instagram. Krizo said this shoulder injury has been affecting his posing as well as his training, and we definitely saw it affect the posing at the Impro Classic. And I was gonna say I wonder why Krizo decided to do this show despite knowing he couldn't train at 100% or pose. I guess Krizo thought he had an easy win, but all jokes aside, hopefully Krizo can get that shoulder back to 100% and we will get to see him later this year at the Prague Pro. And let's switch over to a recent update from the winner of the 2024 Impro Classic, William Bonac, who is still going to be doing the Portugal Pro. And I'm surprised that Bonac decided to do another show despite already being qualified for this year's Olympia. I've heard a few people say this is going to be Bonac's last year competing, and I never really thought much into it, but it's really odd for Bonac to do another show when he's already qualified. He could be hinting that this is his last year. And a few people disagree with Bonac winning over Beirut, maybe more than a few people, but Bonac said in the caption of this post, "Stop complaining and run it back in 3 weeks' time." So I'm pretty sure that's a direct statement to Beirut Tabani. If you're upset about losing, come to the Portugal Pro and let's run it back. And he also said that old boy needs to loosen up before the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. And I guess he was referring to Michal Krizo. I'll say this, I think those statements are a little bit too cocky by William Bonac, but I'll let it slide because he just won a show. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Jewett, who is currently 4 weeks out of the Vancouver Pro. And I want you guys to remember, Vancouver was the show that John was going to do initially, but he got ready extremely early and decided to hop into that Toronto Pro. Ended up taking 3rd place behind Akeem and Quint, and some people actually had him over Quentin Araya. I'm not 100% sure who's doing the Vancouver Pro. Pretty sure Hassan is going to be at this show. But John did just get the nod over and off Hassan at Toronto, but I think Jewett can definitely win a pro show in men's open bodybuilding this year. What do you guys think? But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this legendary bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, I will link the podcast I did with EP09, Mark's Max Muscle, and Desktop Bodybuilding. We broke down the competitors for this weekend's Flex Pro, and we all gave out predictions. It's a great podcast. You guys should definitely go check it out. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.